What's up, friends? It's Firecore. Welcome back to a somewhat different kind of video. So, as you guys know, I have been attempting to speedrun Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, I'm not going to say I quit doing that. It's just I took a little bit of a break since I spent about a week and a half grinding it and put about 30 hours into it, and it almost made me lose my mind. But I'm taking a little break from it, but I decided that since I got around to Chapter 5 and I was on a pretty good pace, I would go through the entire speedrun that I have been watching and give you guys my commentary while it plays. Now, there's going to be no audio on this, but I'm going to be leaving the link to the video inside the description, and the video is by this beautiful man. There was a little cut right there, but I think it worked. But this is the speedrunner himself. He was like number one inside of the speedrun, but some other people took it over. But he's definitely like the main source for any Xenoblade Chronicles 2 content. He's a now. He has like a large repertoire of anything Xenoblade Chronicles. He hasn't posted in a while, but I'm still holding out for it. But let's get into watching this speedrun. Now, before I start the speedrun, another thing I have to say, I'm going to only be recording in little intervals. I'm definitely not going to watch this whole 4-hour video because it's it's long, and I would like to do that. I just don't have the time. So I'm going to be making this a little series, and I'm going to talk about it. So hopefully my commentary is enough. Now, please, check out the video. I'm not stealing his video. I'm just giving it more publicity, you could say. He's the dude who made the speedrun. He's very amazingly good at this game, and I appreciate that he has made so much content for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because without him, I wouldn't have bought the game. So, with that being said, let's get into this Xenoblade Chronicles 2 any percent speedrun with DLC on normal mode, which took 4 hours, 15 seconds, and 15 seconds and 20 milliseconds. So let's get into it. So, he has a lot of introduction at the beginning, but this is a perfect time for me to talk about this game. Now, I'm not going to get inside the story too much because I have no interest in doing that, and it would take a long time, and just watch a Nell's official video if you actually want story like analysis, since I haven't internalized the story chapter for chapter yet. I've played the game quite a bit, but I'm not comfortable giving a description about it. But pretty much, there's this dude Rex. He's the dude inside the little helmet over there, and he wants to get to the top of that tree because there are some hot ladies that decided that they want to follow him up there. So that's his goal in life, and he's going to do it with the power of friendship, and that's pretty much what you were trying to do inside the speedrun. I am horrible compared to Anel. Anel makes much better lines. His battles go a lot smoother, but I do know the ins and outs of combat and all that. So he's still talking right now, and I'm going to skip forward just a teeny tiny bit. No offense, Anel. It's just this intro is quite long. So here's the new game. He starts it on easy mode, and the run starts. Now, honestly, the hardest chapter for me to do is chapter 2, since it was the one where I actually had to learn a lot of new tech. So, pretty much inside of this particular fight, you just do it really quickly. Now, as you can see on the bottom screen, a lot of menus pop up. This game is, I'm not going to say infamous, but it has a lot of tutorials, which is annoying for some people and even turns some people off the game, which if it did, you should totally play the game. I've put over 700 hours into it, and it's still not old. It's just 30 hours in a week is a little much for me. But anyways, he took out that dude really quickly, and this is chapter 1. As you can see, there are 10 chapters on the top, and this isn't a perfect speedrun. This is just the one that I was watching. This is his Games Done Quick application, or he wanted to be showcased on the series Games Done Quick. It's basically this little charity live stream where speedrunners play speedrun games, or just games in general, and people donate money, and it's not as serious as an actual run. But this is just him showing off the game. He does have a 4 hour and 9 minute time, which was an actual speedrun and not a submission for GDQ or Games Done Quick. The official top speedrun for this category is 4 hours and 5 minutes. So as you see right here, he's kind of stuck inside the menu. That's called menu lag. For some reason, I don't know how to trigger it off. When you open a menu, for some reason, sometimes it lags and you can't go up on the menu and you just kind of have to wait like 4 seconds. It doesn't lose too much, but you know. So I'm going to get into a little bit of the story. Rex is a salvager. He goes to the bottom of the Cloud Sea, which is this ocean made out of clouds, and for some reason people can swim on it. And he just got some money. So he goes back to the Argentum Trade Guild, this place, which is where he cashes in all his bills, his fat stacks. And when cashing his fat stacks, he is confronted by some people that want him to talk to the big man, Bana, who is kind of like Jabba the Hutt. And he has a job for Rex, which gives him a lot of money. And since Rex is kind of poor at the moment and he needs some money, he decides to take it. He meets some cool characters. One of them is one of my personal favorites. And he has to prepare for this big job. Now, this big job is, well, pretty dangerous. But since he is well versed inside of salvaging, he believes he can do it. So right now he's collecting materials, or Rex is. He's collecting materials to prepare for this cool job. Now, Anel, the speedrunner, is doing this as fast as possible. He's not really worrying too much about Chapter 1, since you can mess up in Chapter 1, but there are later chapters that have a lot more difficult things. There was a bit of the recording cut there, just had to attend to something. But anyways, let's continue. So I don't really remember what I was saying before that, but as you can see, Anel right now is doing Chapter 1 very quickly. Later chapters are a lot harder, and right now he is doing salvaging, which is a little thing you can do inside the game to collect materials, since Rex is a salvager. You just have to do some button quick time events, and then you get some items. So he just opened a chest, which I don't recall him doing, but it doesn't matter. This run is actually like mighty fine. It's just there are certain parts inside of it which made it kind of slow. Like inside this game, you have to do some clips, clip into some things, which strangely enough I actually mastered pretty quickly due to my big brain. But inside of this section of the game, it's pretty much just teaching the player all the things that you can do. You can buy things, you can salvage, you can rest at the inn, you can give items, all those kind of things. So, Anel's about to do something which he calls a menu. Now, that might kind of sound a little stupid, but it's basically a giant clump of things that you have to do inside the menu. So instead of opening up the menu every 10 seconds to give a new item, you do it inside of one big glob. And these are the sections that you have to write down. It took me a long time to remember some of these, but now they are engraved in my very being. So yeah, he's gonna do one very quickly. After he does this little jump, which I like to call the in jump. I have a little Word document with quite a bit of information on this. So Rex just learned a new attack, Sword Bash, I think. He jumps down here and talks to this person, buys 2 fluffy hats and a muscle belt, and then he does a menu. Now I'm going to tell you everything he does inside this menu. So since he has the DLC, he grabbed the DLC stuff, and then he turns off enemy aggro, so enemies don't want to beat him up. And then he buys this very overpowered item, which makes your character stronger. So inside this game, you have auto attacks, which your character does for you. You have arts, then you have specials. Now, they all charge into each other. Auto attacks, they charge up your arts, and then arts, they charge up your specials. Now, this particular item charges up your arts, which is good. Arts do a lot of damage. especially early inside the game, and late game too, if you have a broken set. But this item, which is the Nisapir Jelly, I think that's what it's called, makes your arts recharge without you using any auto attacks, which is quite good. That is an item that you even use post game inside of some super boss battles. But now Rex got on the ship, and he is going to walk around and talk to all these people. So he talked to Nia, one of my personal favorites, Dromark, Jin, and now he's talking to Sever and Malos, who don't really like him that much. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of a spoiler right now. It's only a spoiler for like 5 minutes in the future inside this speedrun. But basically, the only reason Jin and Malos, these two bad guys, or seemingly good guys, but they're actually bad guys, they're just using Rex because he's pretty much a key. Since he was born on a certain place or a certain Titan, people, I gotta explain that too. So people inside this world live on Titans. They're basically these giant creatures. It's like that giant turtle inside of Avatar, The Last Airbender. But basically, Rex, he lives on a Titan, which for some reason people who live on that Titan have a certain thing inside their blood, which makes it so they can open up this key. Now, they need to open up this key to get an item, which I'll get into later. So, Anel just did a menu there. He equipped one of the fluffy hats, a muscle band, and also gave him a Nisapir jelly. And now he's into a battle with this creature, this dangerous creature. Now, inside of this speedrun, what I usually do is you only have to use like one art, and then you're just supposed to run to the door, since it's a lot faster to do that. And then you get of course, a tutorial, and then you jump down here and do some weird jumping stuff. And pretty much this is just standard. You can't do this too much faster. Inside of the speedrun, or the world record right now, there's actually a clip that you can do to immediately get down to the lowest level. I can't really do it, and it involves this command button thing that you do, where you push like a certain button, and then you click other buttons, and it like insta-kills your character, but it puts you inside of this free fall animation, and I think you can clip through the ground with it, but I'm not sure. It saves like 20 seconds, and I never learned it, since I prefer to just do this. So, I actually didn't know he teleported back, but I guess that's faster. Okay, so now he's just, putting all the stuff back in. They're inside this ancient ship trying to get that item that I was talking about. And to get that item, they have to open up this door. And they have to collect a piece of equipment to shove inside of a hole to open up this door, since it's old. And here's a very annoying boss battle, which I used to struggle when I first started. Now, basically, this boss, he likes to beat you up. And since at the moment you're trying to do this quickly, you're quite low level. So that move right there, that shark slide, if that hits all three of the enemies, it knocks everyone down, including the ones that are supposed to take the hits. So if all of them take the hits, the shark decides that he wants to beat up Rex, the main character, and then you die, or get two-shot. But all you have to do is just run to the left of the screen, and then you're fine. There's also this mechanic inside the game called Rage or something. When the opponent is at like half HP, they get angry and get that little anime thing over there, and he has this attack which can also one-shot you, so you have to run away when he's at like half HP. So here's the little door that I was talking about. This door unlocked this beautiful woman who, unfortunately, got Rex killed, since Rex stuck his nose out where he probably shouldn't have, and Jin and Malos decided that he was gonna interfere with their plans, so he got stabbed in the back. But since he touched the sword, he like got transported inside of like this weird dimension, and he was given half of the life force of this pretty girl, and she lost half of her life force, so now they're one. So now they are Blade and Driver, because inside this game, there's the Blade, which is usually a hot anime girl, and then the Driver, which sometimes is also a hot anime girl. But now we have to fight Malos, and he is quite angry that we just kidnapped the thing that he was trying to take hostage. or is it hostage? She was more like an item. She was kind of unconscious. There was a post game or a little DLC thing that like gives the backstory on these characters called Torn of the Golden Country or something, and it gave a lot of information on this part of the game, or 500 years before. Since this pretty redhead, Pyra, has been sleeping for 500 years straight, and since she got all of her beauty nap, she's very strong. But she has a different form, which is a lot stronger, like a lot stronger. But this fight's pretty easy. You just have to use your level 1 and then use your level 4, and then you just beat them up. You can lose at this if you get unlucky with the arts, because all enemies have arts or specials or special moves that they have. And Malos specifically has some ones that can topple you and make some effects that are really annoying. So that's chapter 1. Now he got a 12 something. I think it was like a 12:01 or something. My best time is an 11:48. No, not 11:48. A 12:48. Sorry, I'm definitely not that good. So it's not perfect and definitely really slow, but I think it's pretty good. But again, that's chapter 1, which does not have too much crazy stuff. Chapter 2 has a lot of stuff. As you can see on the top of the screen, that split only took about 12 minutes, and the next one goes all the way until 47. So this is a very long section. So after we released this pretty anime girl, we were kind of getting beaten up since this game has losing inside the cutscene, but you won the battle logic, but that's fine. So we were getting beat up inside the battle and narrowly escaped with the help of our Titan buddy. Now this Titan buddy's name is Gramps. He's or Zerta. He's an old Titan who was actually the home of Rex. Rex, he lived on this old Titan's back and kind of just did what he wanted. But Azerta or Gramps decided he was going to save us and got us off of that evil warship, and we were able to take our hot anime girl with us. But that cat girl, or the Nia and Dromark character that we talked to on the ship, and inside of a cutscene that Anel skipped, she decided that she wanted to escape with us. Or she got kicked off the ship too. No, she saved us. And Malos was like, "What are you doing, Nia?" And she was like, "I don't know. I like the hot anime girl too." Which, you can't blame. So now we're on Gormott, and we're trying to find our way out of this Titan. But first, we have to find Nia. And she's coming up right here with a very annoying boss fight. Now, this frog is, he's a dipshit. I hate him so much. He has really high evasion, and he dodges a lot of attacks. So it's not like really annoying if you lose, since this is pretty early in the run, and if you get really bad luck, usually I just reset. But it's still annoying and disheartening to get like insanely bad luck. So instead of this battle, I think Anel actually gets pretty good hit luck. Sometimes you like hit like no attacks, but this basic strategy is just to use your level 3 with Pyra. Make sure that he walks after you, because if he doesn't walk after you, he's going to use sumo press, this move that he has, which pops some creature from under the ground, and then he eats it, and then he gains more health, which is extremely annoying. But then you use Nia's tier 2 or her level 2, and you do a fusion combo. Now, this is pretty difficult for me to talk about, since fusion combos are still difficult for me to understand. But fusion combos are basically when you use a break or a driver combo, which a driver combo is just when you use a specific move that gives an attribute to an enemy. So there's break, topple, launch, and smash. Those are all the driver combos. And then the blade combos, there's different elements for the different blades. So fire blades can use heat, water blades can use aqua, wind can use wind and all that. So it's all the basic stuff. But if you combine them together, it's like break, mega explosion, and they can do a lot of damage. So this speedrun relies a lot on fusion combos. So Anel, inside of this part of the game, is trying to collect quite a bit of puzzle tree wood, which is a very important item for chapter 2? No, it's chapter 3. Now, you need this wood for a quest to fix a ship or something, and it's very important. And since you have to do it quickly, you got to get good luck. And you have to go through these 8 collection spots, and going through these 8 collection spots, you have a pretty high chance to get 10 puzzle tree wood, which is the necessary amount. If you don't get 10 puzzle tree wood, you just have to skip traveling back to a place and hope you get lucky. Again, it's not that important since some of the clips and fights are the ones that can drastically change your time. So we're now inside of Gormott. Rex is wandering around. Nia said that, yo, if you want to like get out of here and like continue with like your life and stuff, bro, you should probably like go to Gormott. So we're going to Gormott, and Rex really needs to get some exercise since he's just kind of been eating stuff on Gramps' back and he hasn't really experienced the world. So before we go to Gormott, or Torgoth, the town capital, we have to do some things around this area. So Anel, he's the one that taught me this, but most people who do speedruns also do this. You can get quite a bit of lag inside this game, especially Gormott, since it has quite a bit of entities and things that make it really laggy. So you have to zoom in and look at the ground because for some reason that makes it faster and better resolution. So I'm actually going to push pause on this right now and attend to my duties. And I will be back right now. Okay. Now, these sections or things that you have to do inside of Gormott are not that difficult. It's just you have to do them inside of a specific order. So, how do I explain this? You can power up your blades, the hot anime girls that follow you around. Sometimes they're anime boys, but most of the time they're beautiful ladies. And you can power them up with a bunch of different weaponry and equipment. So with drivers, you can give them items like an outfit that makes them stronger or a new weapon. But with blades, since they're weird digital crystal people, you give them weird skills. So the first thing that you can give them is something called a chip, which is basically their weapon. You can enhance it, and these chips do that. So running over there, Anel got a collection spot, and then he jumped down and collected this chip, which you're going to equip later, actually very soon. And then he has to get another collection spot, which is actually for that part of the game with the puzzle tree wood. And since we're already here, we just decided to collect it. Now this part is just a lot of walking around, and it's a nice break because quite a bit of things happen later inside of Chapter 2. But yeah, back to the things that you can do with the blades. You have the chips, which make their weapons stronger, give them more ether, which makes their attack stronger. You can give them more defense, block rate, critical up, a bunch of different attributes, and just base auto attack. Because damage is calculated with a bunch of different things like driver power, ether, critical up, well not critical up, but auto attack and all that. But another thing you can give them is an aux core, which gives them other attributes. So you craft these aux cores with items that you collect around the map. So like vegetables and pieces of wood, because for some reason you can put these pieces of wood together and make some weird power crystal. And you equip these to your blades, and they make them stronger. And inside the speedrun, we do it a little bit. Okay, so after we got that area, we collected some of the vegetables, which we're going to use for some aux cores. We teleport back to this place and grab some more puzzle tree wood, since that's necessary. Now we have to collect one more collection spot, which is over here, and doing that helps us with a quest later inside of Chapter 2. If not, you'd have to wander around, and we don't want to do that. So again, this is not a perfect run. Nell made some mistakes, but this is the run that I like to look at. So I think I'm going to wait until Anel gets to Torgoth, the town capital, and then I'm probably going to pause the recording or stop the recording and end episode 1, since my voice is kind of groggy. Especially since this is the second video I've recorded today. So we got Lancham Island, which is for a quest that you have to do for some dude later. Alright, now, instead of Chapter 1, like I already said, Anel turned off the enemy aggro. If not, any enemy that was a meanie would go after him, and we don't want that, because that would be annoying to have to deal with monsters constantly trying to beat you up. So here we are at Torgoth. It's only like 21 minutes in, and we already did this pretty quickly. Instead of my playthrough, this probably took me around an hour, maybe an hour and a half, since I really struggled with the Malice fight. But my time here is not perfect. I never really was good at this section, and I'm still not good at this section. But this is going to wrap it up for episode 1. We did more than I was expecting we were going to do, but I don't want to do this for like an entire 30-minute section. But it's fine. I am really glad that I can do this, and thank you, Anel, for making this video. Your link will be inside the description, and please, Anel, if you are, oh, amazing. If you are not inside the mood to let me watch your content, I am perfectly fine to pull this. I do not want to take your content, and I just want to make sure it's okay with you. I have a sneaking suspicion that you're not going to watch this, but if you do, tell me if it's okay for me to do this. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching, and keep on looking for my videos.